It is a phenomenon that has been addressed more and more in the media lately. A phenomenon that the vast majority of us have experienced in our lives. And a phenomenon that has been associated with only happening to men. Friendzoning. It is time to spread awareness. It can happen to any human being, and it can happen to girls too.
I'm in the friend zone, now I'm in the friend zone.
Now, that's all very well and good, but first you need to understand what exactly friendzoning is. Friendzoning is the process through which a man or a woman is told by their crush that they only like them as a friend, and/or it is a constant deflection of any attempts to ask them out on a date.
High-fiving is a sure sign of being in the friend zone. So is being called bro or sis, and finally the most violent and devastating way, the date deflection
Hey, want to come to the
technique.
movies with me?
Yeah, sure. Who else is coming?
Stacey Uren.
A young, vibrant, outgoing teen who until recently was leading a normal life. 2 weeks ago, Stacey was friend-zoned. She now spends her time inside, refusing to go to school, and has taken to writing depressing poetry and listening to the Titanic soundtrack.
Stacey, I know that it might be hard, but can you tell us what it was like getting friend-zoned this time?
Well, it wasn't the first time, but it was the worst. I mean, you look better with the lights off. Who even says that? What a jerk.
I understand this must be a tough time for you, but I'm sure your family and friends will be there to support you and help you through it. So Stacey, can you tell us some of the emotions you felt when you were friend-zoned?
Well, I was sad, as you can imagine. Really, really sad. I felt as though I was holding onto a broken piece of wood in freezing waters and had just been let go to sink into the depths of the ocean.
Don't worry, Stacey, it'll be alright. Your heart will go on. Now, Stacey, what would you say if we were to bring in the man who broke your heart here today?
I tell him exactly what I think of him. I'd ask him why.
After speaking with Stacey, we decided to get some more in-depth information from her behavioural psychologist. We tracked down psychologist Dr. Don B from the Teen Behavioural Institute for a brief chat.
Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us today, Dr. B. So firstly, can you tell us a bit about the friend zone and where the term originated from?
Thanks. It's in order to inform the current generation of people about friendzoning. Basically, the friend zone, it's the point where someone seeks a relationship with somebody who only considers them a friend and has no desire to take the relationship any further. The term originated from a TV show called Friends, where one of the characters claimed that another is in the friend zone. This is supposedly where the term was popularised. Personally, I find it hard to believe anyone actually watched that show at all, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that show is awful, right? Now, would you mind sharing with us your take on the whole friend zoning situation?
Well, the way I see it, friendzoning has been going on for a long, long time now, just without an official term for it. The term is just a way for kids who lack the initiative to ask someone out to claim they've been friendzoned.
To give you an idea on the severity of friendzoning in our society, we can look to the National Party's spending and budgeting. Over the past financial year alone, they have devoted $10,000 per annum on cartoons educating children about friendzoning, and $50,000 per annum on the research of friendzoning. Some, however, complain that this is not enough, that more needs to be done. Professor Coney is an expert on friendzoning, having spent more than 20 years studying the effects of repeated friendzoning on people and girls.
So, Professor Coney, I understand that you've dedicated your life to the research and exploration of friendzoning.
Rejectional anti-relationship perspective, yes.
Right. So, would you consider friendzoning to be a real issue in today's society?
Yes, I would. And don't worry, we can refer to it as friendzoning if you prefer. Now, I believe that excessive friendzoning has led to an increase in temperature on terra firma, and this is more commonly known as global warming.
I think I get what you mean. Do you mind showing us some of your research so that we can get a better understanding of your theories?
Yes. Here. Have a look at this table.
This definitely makes things a lot clearer. Would you mind sharing with us where you acquired some of this research from?
Yes. For the last couple of years we've been studying a test subject who's been the victim of severe repeated friendzoning. In fact, it's driven him clinically insane.
Friendzoning is something that is being addressed more and more in the media and on YouTube. So, we interviewed YouTuber Joel Uren, aka Darkest Sponge.
So Joel, you consider yourself to be an expert on friend zoning.
Yeah, I suppose I do, because it's a real world problem and I just wanted to be prepared for if and when it would happen to me, which it has.
I find that hard to believe. I can't see how someone like you could ever be friend zoned.
Yeah, well, bad things happen to good people. And friend zoning is quite a common thing, it happens to everyone.
I also hear that you've recently escaped the friend zone. Have you got any tips?
Well basically, what you need to remember is that friend zoning happens to everyone. It's not specific to you. Even though you may think you're the only one in the world getting friend zoned, it's actually happening to everyone around the world. So, yeah.
And now for some surefire tips on how to escape the friend zone. Be there for them. Always listen to them. And always put them first in your life.
Over the past 2 weeks, we have learned some interesting things on the topic of friend zoning. We have seen the extremes of emotional and mental damage caused by friend zoning. And we have also learned that women are vulnerable to attack as well. We have interviewed doctors, patients and a YouTuber to get to here. Here we now stand with the knowledge required to better understand friend zoning. It is a problem, and it is one that will be faced by mankind forever. Perhaps one day the Western world will have ways to escape it. Only time will tell. But for now we must suffer, we must endure. But we must also remember, don't panic. It happens to everyone. You are not alone.
Anything else to add?
Subscribe to Darker Sponge on YouTube. You won't regret it.
You catch my eye from my plastic thrown in the sky. I couldn't see why amusement parks are much better in the dark. Fireworks to my left, only inches from my head. To think I could have stayed in bed and missed all this as I dismiss the fact that